Hello, and welcome to Bay of Funny Fortunes. My name is Natalie. I'm an empath, intuitive card reader, and a visionary as well. I'm here today to do the reading for the week of the 24th through to the 30th of September 2017. The sign of Cancer, the crab. All right, that's my sign for those of you that are new, in case you were wondering. Not that you care, but hey. Let's get right into the shuffle, shall we? Let's get your weekly cards laid and spread and see what the cards and the spirits have to bring forward for Cancer's attention for the coming week. What's in store for our Cancers? Let's see here. Love, health, wealth, all that good stuff. What does Cancer need to be made aware of, given a heads up on what they can anticipate for this coming week, this last week of September. All right. We want 3 cards this time. Thank you for these messages ahead of time. Thank you for being here. Thank you for sending your messages. I know it's going to start itching already. It's a good sign, I think. Right here, this is it. All right, we're going in. Too late to turn back now. 2 of Cups. 2 of Cups. Partnership for the beginning of your week. Middle of the week. Oh, no. 5 of Pentacles. Abandonment. Doesn't mean you're being abandoned now, Cancer. Page of Wands. Creativity ties up the end of the week, midweek to the weekend. Let's dive right in. This card, common meaning overall, is everlasting love, a relationship that can stand the test of time to last a lifetime. It also represents partnerships as well, such as in business or any other, I have several words coming to mind. I'm not going to say any of them, but, because I'm hearing, and it's only a metaphor. It doesn't mean literally, but partner in crime usually means somebody that's your sidekick, you know, your best buddy, your BFF, and all that stuff. You go through everything together, and some people would call that their partner in crime, but it doesn't mean it literally a partner making, creating crime with. But romances are highlighted with this card as our partnerships. Overall, though, regardless of what the relationship is in the partnership sense, it is being with somebody that is like-minded. They are you, you are them. There's a common thread between the two of you. Sometimes it's just pure chemistry. It's like-mindedness. You can finish each other's sentences. You already know. You could actually speak on each other's behalf if one of you was missing. In speaking to somebody, you could say, well, yeah, I can speak for them because I know them that well. I already know what they would say. I know what their answer would be. You may find yourself in a position to be doing that as well. For some of you, this is going to be new. It hasn't. Please remember, everybody. I know some of you go, yeah, that resonated with me, and no, it didn't resonate with me at all. But you have to remember, the reason most people can resonate is because they recognize things that are already going on in their lives, and they know what the next fallout's going to be or the next move is going to be. Therefore, it resonates with them. For everybody else, this is a telling of the future. It hasn't unfolded yet. It hasn't happened yet. For those I speak to right now, you could be meeting somebody new that's very much like-minded, just like you. You may join up in a business partnership, a friendship, a love relationship. It's hard to say, but it's going to bring a lot of rewarding experiences to you, whatever this means to you, whatever kind of like-minded situation or individual you find yourself with. It will be broadening your horizons, opening up a part of the world that maybe you've never really considered before. Cancer likes familiar. I can't speak for all Cancers because I'm a Cancer. This is for Cancer Sun, by the way. Check out your moon and your rising signs as well with throughout Bay of Funny Fortunes videos to get your take on them, because sometimes they resonate more with you than your sun sign will. But I can't speak for other cancers. But for me, and I'm a strong Cancer, is I don't, I don't. Oh, my nose. Oh my gosh, I don't have a desire to step outside my comfort zone of what is my world. Going into unknown territories makes me nervous. Look, I live an hour's drive from the American border, the border of the USA. All right, and there's a lot of people that cross that border every day. We've got Canadians that work over across the border, so they drive or walk across it every day. You have vice versa. Sometimes you have people traveling. People go down to do shopping from Canada here. Those that all live close to the border. As close as I am, and I have been across the border in the past. I haven't in about probably close to 20 years now since I've crossed. I don't care to. I don't need to. It's nothing personal against the country. It's just me personally. But even then, back in the day when I used to go over for groceries and Christmas shopping and things like this, I would be so uptight and so nervous and felt so out of place being over there. Only because the laws of the land is a bit different in its own respect. As here at home for me, I know the laws in and out. I know what you know. Maybe I watch too many movies. You go into a country and you do something wrong, and it's something small, and it's like the gates of hell are opening up because you didn't know, and now that kind of thing sits with me. And I always had the same feeling and reaction coming back. And by the way, the Canadian border crossing, they're in the same place. You got the American here, and they're all connected. Basically, there's a drive between them where the cars come through. So if you're going into the States, you pull up nice and close to the little depot there, the little officer building that is of the USA. You say where you're going over. Now you need passports since 9/11 to get across the border. And if you're coming back through the Canadian border. I'll tell you this. As a Canadian, this is what makes me nervous. I'm making a point here about broadening my horizons. Coming back as a Canadian, trying to get back into Canada again, just to make that little drive across the line, is, I would say, 80 times more stressful and hard than it is getting into the States. That is the truth. That's always been my experience. A lot of people and Canadians will tell you, we have to fight to get back in again. And this makes me nervous. And once I'm across the border and I know I'm home, I check to make sure there's no red or blue lights behind me for some reason. Very nervous. Once I get out the road, there's just a sense of relief of what is familiar to me. I'm back on my own stomping grounds. Yes, everything feels right with the world again. There's some of us Cancers, we don't like to stray too far outside our shells. That is a bottom line. But curiosity-wise, my mind travels everywhere. My mind looks into different cultures and different traditions, and I'm interested in the nature in different parts of the world. And there's so much richer. That way, Cancer, somebody unique could broaden your horizons that way. I bring this up because I don't think there's a lot of Cancers that aren't that adventurous, where they physically want to go. We like safety. We like normal. We like familiar. What is normal for us? Not that anywhere else is abnormal. Don't twist my words. Yeah, it started out that way today. A stupid ass comment on one of the videos. And don't let it bother you, Natalie. Stay in the light, Natalie. Just shrug them off. They don't matter. But it kind of irks me how stupid some people are, and how stupid some people will go through the trouble of leaving a comment. What's your point? You went through the trouble to leave this comment. Now you want me to respond. What is your point? I tell people to fly the hell out of here and find another reader. They're not worth it. We like familiar, all right? We like things that because I'm like that. Even going into the city to get groceries for me, which is a 30-minute drive from my door into the city of St. John, there's an anxiety that comes over me. I don't care where I'm at, who I'm with, who I'm traveling with. And I travel with the best of people, my best of friends, family. I still get this anxiety that comes over me because I attract weirdness in my life. I do. Are you surprised by that? I have people talk to me all the time, complete strangers, but St. John's known for being very, very friendly. Not in your face. They don't invade your personal space. We do have, because there's such a large area. The city of St. John, At one time, many moons ago, it was the largest city in the planet, area-wise. Everything is spread out everywhere. But there's a lot of people, but we like our space. But in saying that, I attract weird situations, weird people. If something strange is going to go down, it happens like 4 feet from mine. And I'm standing there going, what? You know, total strangers talking to me, striking up conversations. This happens to me all the time. Ever since my children were small, and when I would take all three to the grocery store with me because I couldn't leave them home alone. So we'd all go, and they'd go, Mommy, please don't talk to people today. Please don't talk to people today. We just want to go home. We just want to be home, but they were too young to be left home, and on it went. But we get in there, and something that should take maybe, for a full grocery order, maybe half an hour, 45 minutes, for a family of 4, turned into an hour and a half because I would keep getting pulled to the side and stopped. When I get home, I'm back in the area that's outside my clamshell once again, and I am happy. We are very curious by nature, Cancer. We are very welcoming. We're open. We're warm. Not all, because I know Cancers that were the opposite of all that. We're very withdrawn, very closed down, almost to the point of rudeness to the people that are closest to them, and even strangers even more. But we like familiarity. But this person, if you meet somebody or you already know somebody like this, you're going to nurture each other's interest, right? You're going to bring a feeling of comfort and familiarity to each other. You will feed each other. You will nourish each other. You will grow and be richer for the experience of having this human being in your life. We should all have somebody like that. Some of you at this time as well may be looking to find, to develop inspiration. Or you've got the inspiration, but you need a little bit of leadership. Somebody's showing you the ropes of something that's grabbed your interest, giving you the heads up, telling you what you should and shouldn't do, what you should or shouldn't expect. But a teacher or taking a course or a class of some kind is some kind of an interest that has grabbed you. When Cancer gets stirred inside, when they see something or something's attracted their attention, there's no pulling away from that. There's no changing that. We get fixated in a quiet kind of way. Other people around us wouldn't know that we're fixated unless we verbalize that a lot. We don't always do that. A lot of things I keep to myself. I just hold everything up inside, you know, because nobody wants to be judged, laughed at, ridiculed, or anything like that. But my favorite saying, the harder the dream would be to attain or manifest something, I say nothing in this world, you know, may be improbable, but it's not impossible. And I go with that. And I say, if the universe sees fit to bring me this or to allow me to have this or experience this, then so be it. We don't just get self-centered and go out on a whim here with no regard to anybody else, because Cancers are usually very aware. A lot of them are empaths like myself. So, yes, I slip up every once in a while. You know what I did once? I'll tell you what I did once. I had these friends. They were a couple. They were a married couple. They used to come visit me, you know, 4 nights out of 7. And we'd have tea and coffee the wee hours of the night because they had these beautiful, delicious, meaty conversations. And one time they showed up and I already had 2 people sitting at my dining room table I was having company with. So I went to make coffee for everybody. And the female of the married couple that came in, that were there all the time, she was busy doing something else at the table for me. She was doing something, putting something together. So her head was down. But when I made the coffee and brought it, I gave everyone a coffee but her. Not a word was said. Nobody noticed it. She didn't say, and she'd known me long enough and been coming to my house. We're talking years. She should have spoke up and said, well, what am I, chopped liver? Where's my coffee? I'd like to have one. And I would have probably laughed and said, oh my God, I'm sorry. I don't know why I did that. You know what? To this day, and this happened like 25 years ago, it still haunts me that I forgot to give her flippin' coffee. And she came back the next day with her husband, and she said she cried all night long because I excluded her. And I asked, did I exclude you through the rest of the evening, or was it just the coffee thing? She said, no, it was just the coffee thing. Why the flip did you not speak up? We're not perfect. We are empaths. We're very aware of everything going on around us, but at the end of the day, we're still walking on terra firma, the planet Earth. We're still physical. We're here. We are human, and humans are open to error. And that happens. Just trying to give more insight for those that may be doing the watching or watching for someone else's behalf, someone that had cancer in your life. to have a little more in-depth and understanding about what Cancer. This is my sign. I can blabble on all flipping day about this, you know. You guys can shut me off anytime. The advice of the card. Look for others to share your visions. That won't be hard for you, Cancer, during this week at all. It's going to come real easy, like it was meant to be. Like destiny has brought this person to you. Work with others for the greater results. You're going to know that too, that if I have somebody to buddy up with, this is going to be fantastic. Whatever this is for you. This is a good card, guys. Keywords are partnership, creativity, communication, travel, education, planning, inspiration being the big word that comes off this card. Sorry that was so, I am sorry that was so long. But when Spirit talks, it talks. And when I'm prompted to share something, I'd give you all a cup of tea right now. Wouldn't miss one of you if I could. And all in beautiful cups. I'd like to have the whole set of the Zodiac. How cool would that be? But this is Wands, like in the Ace of Wands. This is Wands, right? This is the Ace of Wands cup. It was a gift. Michelle A., one of my subscribers and group members. And yeah, I'm drinking tea. Five of Pentacles. What the hell, Cancer? Abandonment. And you know what? I'm not going to go on and on about this one. Everybody knows how poor I am. Poor. I don't look poor. It's all an illusion, all right? But I'm very, very poor. I just get by. And sometimes I don't get by at all. The rent gets paid. Utilities are paid and all that. Food is a scramble. What are we going to do for a month? We'll take it one day at a time. If I eat today, I'm happy about that. Every now and again, I get ahead a few dollars. I'll stock up on, you know, hair product, makeup. I look for the sales. I'm very frugal. But this is needed. You guys wouldn't want to see this completely undone. I mean, it's not pretty. I look like an old hag. Just the way I see it anyway. This is all for your benefit. All of it, darling. Okay. Fears of poverty and isolation. I don't mind the isolation, man. I'm a lone wolf. I love my own company. I love where I take myself. It's like walking the beach. I don't always walk just the beach. There's a huge marsh to explore out there. There's a big graveyard up at the end and a creek up there. There's all kinds. I can walk out onto the mud flats when the tide's out and see all kinds of neat things. I enjoy my own company. I like my own taste in shows and movies on TV and this kind of a thing. I could do well on an island as a lighthouse keeper or something. I love people and I appreciate them when they're here. At the end of the day, that's my time because I do like people overall. Collectively, we're messed up, I think, as a human race. Individually, yes, I have very, very close. If I didn't like people, I wouldn't have friends that I've had now for 52 years. There's more than a handful of friends that I've had for 52 years. All right, since I was knee high to a grasshopper, they're still in my life, and I love them. My life would not be the same. It would cease to exist in the way that I know it right now. But the thing is, at the end of the day, I kind of I can't say the word. It's like compartment, but compartmental areas of my day. The nighttime, the evening. When my house goes to bed, there's my isolation. There's my alone time. If I get it bad through the day, I go for a long walk all by myself. I find a spot somewhere, cop a squat in a log, and just watch the tide. And watch the seagulls. That's my alone time. And we're a lot of us are like that. We're very, very cold as far as cancers go. But we tend to have this thing about security. Some of you cancers out there watching this are probably well off, and you work hard for your money, work hard to be where you're at, but you still live with this what if. What if things went wrong? I got the world by the tail. I've got enough money in my bank account to do me till the day I die, and then some. I'll have some left for the family when I go. I own my own home. There is no mortgage. I live off the grid. There is no power bill. You could have it all. And I mean all, as far as a sense of security goes. If there was a major catastrophe, if there was an Armageddon, you know, this kind of a thing, you would survive it. You grow your own food. You'd never go hungry. You'd never be cold. You'd never be in the dark. Because you've learned the to be, you know, they call them subsistence or something, like the people that do everything on their own with no help from anything else or anybody else. Some of you out there are probably like that, because I had that dream. I figure other cancers must too. The yearning to be able to be self-sufficient and lean and depend on nobody. But still, Cancer, some of you are real warriors. And you really play on things, and you get a grip on something and you won't let it go out of your head. In this constant fear of poverty and isolation. And you know what I just heard? I just heard that you feel, for some of you, it may not resonate with everybody. So this, you can bank on this as far as it being the future. This is part of a character. So it does take place right now. It is part of the now of whoever you are. Those of you that are doing very well in your life feel that if you don't keep the awareness and the what ifs of poverty and isolation close to the surface, but behind you here, it's not up front. People don't know this is something that you live with. That if you don't have that constant diligence and fear, that you'll jinx it. If you just go, ha ha, I'm so happy. I've got the world by the tail. Nothing can touch me now. Anything can go wrong, and I'm always going to be okay. And if you didn't think about the what ifs, you feel like that would jinx it and bring all those fears to life. You would lose it all overnight. You would go hungry. You'd not have a roof over your head. And some of you hold on to that. You almost feel like this is the perfect balance as long as I worry about that, which is kind of senseless because you're not fully enjoying your reality and the now that you find yourself living in. And the tarot says this is not your reality. All right? Tarot says this is not your reality. You don't need to fear isolation and you don't need to fear poverty. And some of you are distancing yourself and you're pulling back too because it's really got a grip on you. Or maybe you've just gone through a big change in your life and now you're fearing this isolation and the poverty because of this huge change, like such as marriage breakdown. That certainly changes the financial picture for a lot of people. You know, you're not as well off as you were before because of this change. So that brings that fear there. Oh my God, I'm going to end up homeless on the streets. And you have nobody's saying don't worry about that and don't have that fear, but don't let it hold you back from what your reality is, I guess is what I'm putting out there. Also, so there it is, right? So says tarot, feeling alone after the end of a relationship and also financial change that come with breakups. This happens. You have vice of your card. You have support. Looking in the wrong places, though, for some of you, go somewhere different for the love of God, Cancer. I even got to tell myself this. Stop going into the safe zones, all right? What I'm familiar with, this goes for you as well. This is for you. Sticking within the boundaries of what is safe. You know what? Try doing something off the fly once in a while. Right out in left field kind of a thing. You know, it is what it is for you. I'm hearing these crazy things and I'm going, I'm not saying that. It's what I'm arguing in my head. I hear what's being put there. And I'm like not going to say anything like that. So I'm talking real off the wall. Speaking of walls, if you've never done rock climbing, give it a shot. Because you're scared of it. It might be a fear that's caught me when I was younger. I love to do that stuff. I loved anything outside, rock climbing and all. I wouldn't do a zip line. I'm not crazy. I want to have, something firm under my feet. But that kind of a thing now, for somebody else who's never done that, but they looked at it and they've admired it and thought, if I could get past my fear, I think I'd really like doing that. Go ahead and make that stretch. It'll be inspiring for you to do so. For heaven's sakes, Cancer, some of you are so habitual. Go to a different flipping grocery store. Go get your gas at a different station. Do something different. Break out of that mold that you've got yourself locked in. There's a message for you, Cancer. Yeah, so if you're looking for support, don't go to the same old people. Go to somebody different. Go someplace different. Find support and financial support as well. Excuse me. Keywords: isolation, rejection, bias, fear, risk, relationships, money problems for some. For a few, this is going to be very, very real. Stay calm. Take it in baby steps, one bite at a time, no matter how big the financial problem is for you. Try to stay rational. Try not to lose it. Don't close yourself off. You won't get any help that way at all. You'd be doing the wrong thing by closing yourself off from everybody. Okay, so your next card, page 1, it's all about creativity. Mid to end of week. Some of you may have to get creative to fix your financial situation. Who knows? This is a page. All pages are bearer of news and messages. This page, all pages are usually between the ages of 15 and 20. So it's a young personality, someone young at heart, or somebody just downright young, is bringing you news about creative projects, a way of extending your earning power to keep the money flow into the bank account. Some of you may have to return to old places, old jobs, old things that were your talents. There may be a need for that, to bring that forward into your present lifetime, for something to grow from that. For those of you that have gone through relationship breakups recently, you need something to fill that time, fill the hole, and that could be very therapeutic for you as well. You're needing familiarity in your life. You may, like I say, grab something that was part of your past that really you enjoyed or meant something to you, and bringing it into now to get you through whatever that is. But it could be creative projects. It could be old friends. You know how people have best friends, and they have a handful of good friends, then they get married, and the friends start to fitter off because you can't spend the time that you used to spend with them. You may be pulling a few people back in, praying to God that they'll still come back after all this time. But this is a very charming page, a very chatty page, and he brings great news. Some of you about travel plans as well. Season's open, I just heard. Season is open. For anybody doing any traveling, maybe you're planning on going skiing to Banff or something. I don't know when the season opens. I have no idea. We're just beginning fall. Now it's just the first 2 days of fall that we're in. It depends on where you're going, where you want to go. And somebody young is coming to you and saying the season is open. You've got the green flag. Also, the messages could be brought about new jobs, new work. They've been given a heads up, and they've carried this information on to you as well. When he shows up, he reveals a fun flirtation as well. He's very flirty and very charming. This person could be somebody that's involved in the arts. That's why they're so dynamic and they're so colorful. And there's somebody whose company you always enjoy. You find them very interesting because of their craft. They are either a writer, a dancer, an actor, a musician, something along those lines. And for some reason, that seems to feed you. You really like seeing this person coming. You perk right up. You perk right up when you see them coming. And they leave you with a good feeling. But this time when they come to visit, it's going to be extra special because they're bringing something and carrying something with them that is meant just for you. So you could be discovering your own talents as well. This person could be coming forth to tell you about something that they want you to get involved in or think you might be interested in. So you can go ahead and do that. I'm just looking on top of my camera. I don't know what it is with the flies. They like it up there. It must be warm. Vice of the card. Now's the time to express yourself. Gallery opening for a painter. You might have a chance to get your foot in the door, and that's what this guy's come to tell you. Collect your works that you've created and make contact. They may be bringing you contact information on possibly being able to show your work, a spot to hang them. I heard that. Keywords are messages, travel, news, communications, new work, expression, transitions, and entertainment. And that, my dear Cancer. That, my dear Cancer. You know what? I'm hearing as well for somebody out there. You've become so complacent in your own life that you're bored with yourself that you won't even try. You won't even try to take up new hobbies or new interests. You won't even move beyond that. You know, you're like those people in the floaty chairs from Wall-E. Just, that's your world. You're in that spot and you're not going to move out of it. And you know what? If you won't go to Muhammad, it doesn't mean that, or the mountain, it doesn't mean that the mountain is always going to come to you. Don't expect that. Cancer, you're the type of person and you have the type of aura that if you put a little bit of effort in, it goes a hell of a long way. A long, long way. You've got the touch, baby. You've got to learn to implement it and use it while you can. All right. So I hope you enjoyed that reading. It's the longest one I've done this week. Oh my God. I'm allowed though. It's my channel. It's my sign. Anyways, thanks a lot. I hope the rest of you got something out of this. I hope it was informative. And if it doesn't make sense to you now, come back in a week and see if anything resonated with you. This is the telling of the future, which has not unfolded yet. Although some of you will find connections and commonalities within the reading. Great. Also to thank you to all YouTube subscribers. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. Your support, your staying power, really mean an awful lot to me. And thank you very much to the YouTube subscribers that have now collectively are forming a beautiful group in a Facebook under Bay of Fundy Fortunes. This is a closed private group for like-minded people, speaking of, like you and like me, and to know that we don't walk this chosen life path alone. There are others like us. We are many in numbers. You go into this group and you can be comfortable, you can be quiet if you want, you can be active if you want. Nobody expects anything of you, but what an informative place to be. We all grow and learn something new there every day. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, though, please do. Subscriptions are always free for those of you new to YouTube. You can leave anytime you like. Let me see here. Also, you can find Bay of Fundy Fortunes not just on Facebook and YouTube, but Blogspot, Google, and Twitter as well. And if you like this reading, you like something specific just for you in private, I do offer that service. The information's down below this video window in the Show More section. Please read through there once. Grab my email that you see there that I use for everything, and I'll get you taken care of very, very quickly. So for now, I'm going to say goodbye since I've hammered on. You know what? Never mind, you know what? It's almost like I subconsciously made this longer than it needed to be. I don't stop until I've expelled all the messages and no apologies to anybody. So anyways, yeah, you can always find me right here, mostly in Bay of Fundy Fortunes. If you can, I'm usually walking on the beach down below along the water's edge to hold the highest tides in the whole world. The beautiful and the bountiful Bay of Fundy. And I am a tide junkie. I watch them slide in. I watch them slide out. My favorite, though, are the high ones. So if you are looking for me, you're probably going to catch me waiting on the next high tide. Have a great week. And next time I see you, if you come back or if I come back, we'll be doing the monthlies for the month of October. I hate to say it. Although it can be a beautiful month, it brings cold and snow as well. So for now, hope to see you back here next week and have a wonderful, wonderful week. An interesting one as well. Bye for now.